Hey everyone, it's Lori, and I am here today with my homeschool book and supply haul. So, I just did a book haul somewhat recently where I did all the kind of not related to school books. Um, and I was waiting on a couple of things to come in the mail before I did this one. So, this is just the things I've recently bought for homeschooling. And next up, I will have a video about our school plan for 2019-2020 school year. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to do so. You just click the red button down below. It helps me out because then more people can see my videos. So we'll get into this little book haul. So one of the things we'll be doing this school year is a homeschool writing co-op. And I'm going to be one of the teachers for the highest level group. It's a junior high school class this year. And we're going to be doing two different programs from the Institute for Excellence in Writing. So for first semester, we'll be doing Speech Bootcamp. So I got the DVD set for that. This comes when you buy it from IEW with a downloadable teacher's guide and student guide. So this is all I had to buy, and then I can print off the student books for both of my girls. And I already printed the teacher and the student book for me because I really love it when teacher's guide also have the student pages in them, so I know what the kids are looking at. So it doesn't in the teacher's guide have all the student pages, so I will probably kind of integrate those two together so that I know what the kids are looking at and what I have as the teacher. The second half of that writing co-op class, we're going to be doing some fiction writing. I am not a fiction writing person, so thankfully my co-teacher is willing to take the lead on this one because I was a little bit nervous about it, but we're going to be using How to Write a Story and an instructional guide for understanding and teaching basic story writing. This is by Lee Roddy. And this is not quite as teacher friendly in a way. It doesn't have a separate teacher's guide. This is something that kids could work through on their own, or you could do in a classroom setting. So we're going to be doing this in a classroom setting. My girls are super excited because they love to write fiction. I would rather write essays all day long, personally. I like to start our school time off with something that a lot of homeschoolers call morning time. But the way we kind of do it is brain games and game time. So I almost always have my kids do some sort of logic puzzle and we always play a game. I'm going to try to work a few more things into it this year. But for that logic-y part, I picked up this little book called Fantastic Word Puzzles by Michael B. Mager. This was a quarter at one of the the used bookstore in Estes Park. And so it's got just these fun little puzzles where you have to figure out what is going on. So I think this will be fun to do every once in a while. We probably won't do these every day. Maybe one day a week we'll add these in. I also usually have some sort of brain puzzle book, and the girls in the past have always shared it and they've passed it back and forth. And this year I decided that just took extra time because sometimes one girl would finish a puzzle before the other was done with the book she had, and then they'd swap. So I decided this year to just buy them both their own books. So I got them a couple of these brain games books. I got these off of Amazon with the Amazon Prime Day code to get $5 off your books. So this is Brain Games Collection 1, and this is Brain Games Collection 4. Now, 2 was not available, and 3 was, but 4 was green, and 1 was blue. And my girls tend to have, Charlotte will always have blue binders, and Eva will often have green. So it's kind of like the colors I'm used to associating with the kids. So I just went with those. Charlotte already started hers. I had to take it away from her and tell her she couldn't have it till school started again. So I think these will be fun. They have just a wide variety of different brain games, from Sudoku and crosswords and word searches to mazes and just all sorts of kind of fun stuff. So I picked those up. Also, for the kind of morning time sort of thing, I just picked this up and I thought this might be fun to add in from time to time. We had children's book versions of these when my kids were little, but this is the Book of Virtues by William J. Bennett. And so it's a treasury of moral stories. So they're kind of shorter stories. that just teach some sort of virtue. So I thought, again, this, like the word puzzle book, maybe one day a week we'll do something from here, and one day a week we'll do an extra word puzzle. And then I have a couple of Audible books that I got that I thought we could add in. One on grammar, I believe, and one on creative writing. So we may do those as well. In the kind of miscellaneous category, every year my kids take standardized tests. I like to give them standardized tests just so they're used to the process of testing. And last year, Eva did the PSAT for the first time, and she'll be taking it again this year at the local high school. They're very good about letting us get the girls into that. But, you know, she's going to be a sophomore in high school, so we're now getting to that, like, college entrance exam study time. So when I found this for a quarter, I couldn't say no. It's the ACT Premier, and this is from 2014, so it's slightly older. But seriously, standardized tests are standardized tests. So I figured this would be good practice. It has 6 practice tests. It still has the DVD in the back. I don't know if the DVD will still work. You never know with things that are 5 years old. But, you know, with 175 practice questions, this will at least get her started on some prep for those college entrance exams. Both the girls are doing foreign language this year. Eva is going to be doing her second year of high school Spanish, and Charlotte's going to be doing her first year of high school French. So the class that Charlotte will be taking through Homeschool Connections is a recorded class, but it calls for the Memoria Press First Start French. This is actually targeted at a younger age group than high schoolers, but then it's taught at a high school level. So sometimes it's hard to find good language books for homeschoolers. And I'm sorry that blue really throws off my camera. It always does. But anyway, I wasn't really sure if I needed the teacher edition, but I have it just in case. And then the student book had some pages that were written in pencil, so I went through and erased it, and I may like white out over where the answers were. We don't know who it was. We don't know if it was a smart kid or a not smart kid that filled this out before Charlotte. So, you know, we'll see. But I'm not too worried about it. It's not that many lessons. So she's got First Start French. And then I also picked up a French and English dictionary. I was looking for another book on my shelf today, and I found another French and English dictionary. So apparently I've bought 2 of these for her. But I guess that means she can keep one in her room and one somewhere else in the house. I guess it really doesn't hurt to have an extra dictionary. So that's for Charlotte's French. For Eva's Spanish 2 class, the teacher asked us to get exercises in Spanish grammar. This book was almost $10, and it is literally like 20 pages long, 24 pages long, and just boring beyond belief. So I'm not really sure what's so great about this book. I guess I don't really care. Eva will have assignments in it, and she'll have to deal with it, not me. So that's for her Spanish. And then the rest of our classes that we're doing together. And so for our literature class, I managed to pick up 2 of the books that we needed for it, used at my used bookstore extravaganza / the homeschool used book sale. I got a Barnes & Noble Classics edition of Paradise Lost. I got this at Arc Thrift Store. It was not half price, so this cost me $3, but you know, can't complain too much. And then we'll be reading King Lear, and I found the Signet Classic version at the homeschool conference for $1, so I picked that up as well. History is a subject that I just am not totally sure what we're doing, and I may not know until well into the school year. But one book that I picked up that kind of didn't make it into the last book haul, but kind of fits under the topic of history, as Eva wanted this copy of Time's Great Images of the 20th Century. So this could be fun to do for history, kind of look through some of the classic images, what Time thinks are the greatest images of the 20th century. So We've got the Challenger explosion, something from my childhood, and a street battle in Northern Ireland in 1981. So it's just got some really cool photos, and we could kind of look at the historical context of those photos, possibly. So I don't know for sure if we'll use this for school, but it's about all the history I have right now. For science this year, I decided to combine the girls, and so they are both going to be doing high school level chemistry, and we're going to use a recorded class from Homeschool Connections. And the textbook that class asked for was Prentice Hall Chemistry, which I picked up at the used book sale for $5 from somebody. And my husband was looking at it, and it was actually from Russell High School in Russell, Kansas, and he just thought that was kind of funny, since we're a lot closer to Kansas than the Denver metro area where I picked this up. And then for that class, there's actually a custom microchemistry kit that the teacher developed with Quality Science Labs. And it was kind of pricey. It was $160, $170. Shipping was going to be like $11. And it had a bunch of stuff, some of which I already had. So I ended up picking up a different kit. I got this from Home Science Tools, which is probably my favorite website for buying science stuff for homeschooling. They had a coupon code. I can't remember if it got free shipping or reduced shipping with that coupon code. But anyway, it was much, much cheaper. And then it turns out that this is actually put together by Quality Science Labs as well. But this is the microchem kit. So it has a lot of the stuff we're going to need for the labs that the class assigns. And because I'm a homeschooler and can do what I want, those few labs that we may not have the supplies for, I will just replace with a different lab from this kit, because this kit also has a guide to do all the labs. So I figure that is good enough for me. It was still expensive. I mean, it's like $150, but with the coupon code and the reduced or free shipping or whatever I got, it made it a lot less expensive than the custom kit. So that's kind of all of the school curriculum type things. The other thing that I bought for my girls were some planners. Now, we use planners for the girls to write down their own assignments. I used to write their assignments every week in their planner, and they just have to check them off as they went. And then I decided they were big enough to do that on their own. So now they're responsible for keeping track of their own planners. So I let them pick out their own planners. We just kind of did this on Amazon. We are very, very busy this summer, and we don't really live close to anything. Like Walmart's an hour away, Target's like 3 hours away, so it's not like we have a store we can go to and look at a whole bunch of different planners. So we got on Amazon, and we just kind of looked through. So the girls each picked a planner. I gave them a $10 budget so that they could keep it reasonable, because they did like the $50 Erin Condren planners, but I'm not paying $50 for a planner for a high school student. So Charlotte picked this one. It says, "Love Never Gives Up," and has flowers. It has a nice little elastic closer thingy that I like. It has a little pen holder, which is nice. And it has a pocket in the back, so she can stash stuff in there. But it's just a nice basic planner. You know, you got your week at a time, your month at a time. And I like that it has the tabs. I am much more like Charlotte in terms of what I would want in a planner, so this is something that I probably would have picked out. Eva's planner, on the other hand, is very Eva-y. So it has a Starry Night cover, but the thing that she really likes about it is you can remove your cover and put in your own custom art if you feel like it. You could change your planner cover every month. That may happen. Eva's much artier. So hers also has some plastic tabs. And then, of course, like month at a glance, weekly, very similar there. I feel like hers has some pages for notes in the back. Yeah, she's got a notes section towards the back. She's got states, capitals, and time zones. And I think she has holidays in here too somewhere. Oh, reference information. Yeah, holidays, your overview contacts. She probably will totally ignore that stuff or maybe doodle on it because this is Eva. And Eva finds planners boring because they aren't colorful. If I thought she could actually follow through with a bullet journal, I'd let her bullet journal because that seems very Eva-y, but I don't think she'd keep up with it. So for their planners, since they both came in slightly under budget, I got them some planner stickers. These are the She Believes She Could planner stickers with 160 stickers for personalizing your journal, planner, or scrapbook. So it just has cutesy little sayings. Stay humble, work hard, be kind, live for the moments you can't put into words. Little dots, little arrows, some longer stickers to top pages. So I figured this would make her planner maybe a little less painful of an exercise. But she really does need to learn to work on her time management. So I think a planner can be very helpful with that. So that was my homeschool book haul. These are just the things that I've gotten recently for our upcoming homeschool year. And I will be back soon with a homeschool plan. I'm trying to get my printer to print my plan, but my printer is not cooperating today, so we shall see if I have that or not. But I hope you all have a very wonderful day. Please let me know in the comments below if you've used any of these homeschool resources, or if there's a history, something that you would suggest to me as someone who just isn't really sure what she's going to do for history this year. I do want to do it together. History is my favorite subject, at least one of them. Literature and history, those are my go-tos, so I'm not too worried that I won't find something to do. It's just trying to narrow down what we want to study is a little hard this year. So if you have some suggestions for me, leave those in the comments below. Go ahead and like this video if you like homeschooling videos, so I know that people are interested in hearing more about our homeschool. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.